Good morning. Yes, so back with another one. This is Mek Money Monday, Monday the 22nd of January 2018. Whole heap of flavors for you.
Step London, we run the program.
Let's play a few tunes first, yeah? Steph London, Sean Paul.
Real top gunner, what you expect from a real yard runner? We no play dolly house, girl a fall for the hammer. Listen when me talk in the summer. When me touching at the summer, me need remember. Getting number until November. Book your friend Brenda, keep her the vendor. I'm the love sender, no contender. Keep her the thing where I like fire. Make sure know I'm the king, she can't remember. When that she get it touch, she turn and twist. When that she get it so hot like furnace.
Every minute.
They still the black fly. You hear that boy die. They still them goodbye. I never cry. They still the black fly.
That was the sounds of Hurting Me, Steph London featuring Sean Paul, Popcorn and Sizzler. As I said, this is Mek Money Monday. A little bit later, a little bit further on, we're gonna talk to the queen of marketing. She owns a brand consultancy, marketing brand consultancy. I said we're gonna play a few more tunes now.
I've been thinking about you one night long. Yeah. In the morning when I wake up, you in my mind. I've been thinking about you one night long. In the morning, you in my mind. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind. It's like all the time, babe. It's like all the time. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind, yeah. You know it's cuffing season and I'm feeling ya. Let me hold the windows down. It's the night time, the right time, yeah. Reminiscing about the summer times and the drop top cool. When I see a sun go down, God, I'm cold, I'm so cold. You got me creeping all up in your timeline just to see you. You got a man and you're trying to keep it on a D-low. Don't know what I'm gonna do or say when I see you. God, I hope you understand that I'm a new man. I've been thinking about you one night long. Yeah. In the morning when I wake up, you in my mind. I've been thinking about you one night long. In the morning, you in my mind. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind. It's like all the time, babe. It's like all the time. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind, yeah. Cause you know how I don't think back. Give me time, so I no go complain. You was good, you get me right on track. Held me down and I was still trying to play. But I'm just trying to right my wrongs all in a song for you. Been around the world, but on my eyes still get eyes for you. You got me creeping all up in your timeline just to see you. You got a man and you're trying to keep it on a D-low. Don't know what I'm gonna do or say when I see you. God, I hope you understand that I'm a new man. I've been thinking about you one night long. Yeah. In the morning when I wake up, you in my mind. I've been thinking about you one night long. In the morning, you in my mind. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind. It's like all the time, babe. It's like all the time. You there on my mind, babe. You there on my mind, yeah. You there, pom pom, hey, my mind, gone, hey. You there, pom pom, hey, my mind, gone, hey, hey. You there.
Giving you some real Afrobeats flavor. That was Malik Berry tune called Pon My Mind.
Hey, pom pom, hey, my mind.
We're gonna move into the sounds of Mr. Easy. Pour me water. Hopefully we're setting your Monday off right. Make money, baby.
It's E. Kelly.
Oh baby, pour me water, holy water, when this fire. Pour me water, some holy water, make it quench this fire. Everybody want me, make I no fall in love with you. But I no answer them, I tell them say na you. Right now you come and then you play me for a fool. I'm out here wondering waiting I do. Yeah, baby, pour me water, holy water, quench this fire. Yeah. Pour me water, holy water, heal this fever. Every night but I dey greet you bonjour. The thing you do me, they do me kung fu. This thing I see and me be deja vu, deja vu. Every night but I dey greet you bonjour. The thing you do me, they do me kung fu. This song I sing I better it be for you, only you, pour me water, holy water, cool my fever. Just pour me water, pour me holy water, make it quench my fever.
You know, enough times it's a Mek Money Monday and some people take it the wrong way and get upset. They don't really understand the concept is not just to be money minded and money focused and do anything for money. The object is to get up, get motivated and get moving. And if we put the correct time, the focus, the energy, the power, everything that we have into the work, then obviously we expect to be compensated accordingly. And that's what we mean by Mek Money Monday. Get up, get out and get it. And we mean specifically all of the entrepreneurs, the people that know that there's no days off, there's no sick days, there's no public holidays, there's no national holidays, you just gotta stay on the grind. I want to send a special shout out to all of the post people and all of the lorry drivers right now. Everybody that's on the road regular that has to hit up their spouse like this.
Like typing, babe, just FaceTime me. And I ain't talking about no iPhone, baby, I got time for somebody. And I don't really like them brothers in your contact. Baby, I wanna make contact. I beg you, tell me how you got your bum fat. Turn around, bust contract. FaceTime me, girl, I'm trying to get turned up. FaceTime me and leave them on WhatsApp. FaceTime me, we can't just be friends. So why you gonna FaceTime me? Oh, I owe you.
Working, but she really find me cool. I had a crush from ages, man, I've known this girl from school. The way that back move make any brother turn fool. But you know I'm Lotto Lukey, so I gotta play it cool. So when it's late night, hit me on the FaceTime. I don't want a voice call, I'ma hit the decline. Pattern up your camera, let me see you and your waistline. Even if you're no makeup with your head tie. Fresh up at the show, let me see you in the laundry. And you know that I've been waiting for you all day. Show me cake like it's my birthday. And after that, I'ma probably swing your way. Started with the icky, then we got busy. After our face, I can turn into something sticky. It's Lotto Lucas, but she call me Lotto Lukey. And she don't rate them other man because they move bookie.
And I don't really like typing, babe, just FaceTime me. And I ain't talking about no iPhone, baby, I got time for somebody. And I don't really like them brothers in your contact. Baby, I wanna make contact. I beg you, tell me how you got your bum fat. Turn around, bust contract. FaceTime me, girl, I'm trying to get turned up. FaceTime me and leave them on WhatsApp. FaceTime me, we can't just be friends. So why you gonna FaceTime me? Oh, I owe you. We can't deal with no pagan friend. I love the way the Mercedes spin. And I've been kinda weak for a while. Baby, I'll be working me since sleep for a while. One shot, 2 then 3. Baby, you need something for me. And the Henny in the system making me go weak. I need company. I see her in the ends, all bodies from the West Indies. Yeah. You know they up with tryna holler, but she already left with me. Yeah. Oh my ID when she's sober. Link up, grab a drink and you come over. You know I really take my time when I control her. So when you're ready, tell me that you're coming over. I don't really like typing, babe, just FaceTime me. And I ain't talking about no iPhone, baby, I got time for somebody. And I don't really like them brothers in your contact. Baby, I wanna make contact. I beg you, tell me how you got your bum fat. Turn around, bust contract. FaceTime me, girl, I'm trying to get turned up. FaceTime me and leave them on WhatsApp. FaceTime me, we can't just be friends. So why you gonna FaceTime me? Oh, I owe you. Colo 7999, criminal when you wine. Colo 7999, criminal when you Colo 7999.
Absolutely mad tune. That was a Lotto Boys tune called FaceTime Me. Now, ladies, remember, if you want to FaceTime me, the number is 075. Yeah. Alright, so after this tune, we got the queen of marketing. She's going to be teaching us a lot about how we should promote our business.
No need to.
What we should be doing with our businesses.
So different, you always winning. No girl can match this. They can never match you, cause you fire like matchsticks. You keep up your image, angel to sinners, but you the baddest. I can never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, I'll never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, everything I do for you, my lover. My lover, I'll never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, yeah. My lover. My lover. My lover. My lover. My lover. My lover.
Jasminizing, I'm your sizing. I'll decide when we take things further. I keep you close, I'm no beginner. I can do both, angel and sinner. You chose the hard way, you picked a winner. Bring the tequila, you know I'm a killer. You're a boss now and I see your Jordans and your chain, so I see you wanna wife me, making and promises for life be. You know what I'm asking is no double dancing, no second chances, no, no.
So I can never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, everything I do for you, my lover. My lover, never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, yeah. My lover. My lover, my lover, my lover, my lover, my lover, my lover, my lover. You a queen in the street, so no one else could be above ya. When you be on the low, at least you know I got ya. Baby girl, I can't lie, you got my heart locked up in your locker. And she ain't ever been about, that's why I'll never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, never be a fool to you, my lover. My lover, everything I do for you, my lover. My lover, yeah. My lover. My lover. My lover.
We are back on the couch, and this is Mek Money Monday. Today I have a very special guest, somebody that I worked with for a billion-dollar company a long time ago. She's now an entrepreneur, created her own brand, and is very involved in brand marketing, and that's what her brand does. So, ladies and gentle people, I will introduce you to Dionne from DPS Brand Consultancy.
Hello.
I think you need to say hello louder than that, Dionne.
Hello.
This is Mek Money Monday, so you know we have nothing but vibes and that. So Dionne, before we get to where you are today, let's take a little trip back and let's look at working history. Actually, have you done marketing your whole life?
Pretty much. I started doing my first inverted commas proper job was with the Department for Trade and Industry, as it was back then. It's called something different now. They keep changing the name, so I don't know what it is. But basically, I helped businesses export their products abroad or connect with companies in different industries abroad. So that allowed me to go to the States, it allowed me to go to India, obviously travel around the UK as well, so I got to do lots of different things. So it's more on the business development side than marketing and branding as such.
Okay, and then you got into kind of marketing for companies and that type of thing.
Yeah, so then moved on to Edward Jones, which is obviously where we met.
Yeah, it's not your CV, you know, you don't have to tell
eons ago, sorry. But yeah, then moved on to Edward Jones, which is where I started my marketing and branding career.
Okay. And for those that don't know, I know it sounds like a silly question, but I believe there's no such thing as trade secrets here. So what is marketing? I know that sounds odd, but some people might think, oh, well, you know, it's just, you just fling something out there on TV and that's it. When you're doing marketing for a company, what type of things would you expect? What are the achievable things? What are the targets? What are the type of things that you would normally do in a marketing job?
Marketing is about using different types of promotions, email, radio, TV. So it's very tactical. It's very much about putting your business or your brand in front of your target audience and using those tactics to get your message out and to help people recognise what you do and who you are and why they should buy from you. So marketing is very much about promotion and about visibility and getting yourself out there.
Okay, so you did that for a few companies, I'm assuming, over the years, and then eventually decided to set up to become an entrepreneur. And see, I already LinkedIn. And do it for yourself.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of people out there. Again, before we get into the real nitty-gritty and the real detail of the reason why you're here today and the reason why we're having this conversation, there's a lot of people out there that are pretty maybe successful or kind of happy in their day job, or maybe they're not kind of happy in their day job and they want to take that step forward. I feel it's quite scary to decide to leave maybe your day job where you have that security of that wage coming in every month or every week or whatever, and really take that step and become an entrepreneur and actually rely on your own skill and your own ability to pay the bills. How did you find that transition?
First of all, I always wanted to have my own business anyway, so that's been an ambition that I've had for a long time. And after being made redundant from Edward Jones, I did start out freelancing then, but I happened to be pregnant at the time as well. So that's having a baby, and starting a business wasn't the most sensible thing to do. So that didn't quite work out, but I learned a lot from it. And so then I went back to work and then worked for another 2.5, 3 years. And then got made redundant again. I thought, you know what, that's it now.
It's not for you.
I'm not going there again. I need to control my own destiny. And yes, it's scary, but if you really have that passion and commitment to do something and it really means something to you, you'll find a way. There's solutions out there. It's just about talking to people and keeping an open mind and not kind of shutting yourself off because thinking that you can do it all yourself, because you can't.
Okay.
You do need to get support in those areas where you're not confident or you don't have as much experience in business. Having said that, there's a lot more, it's a lot easier nowadays to start a business than it used to be because of the internet. You know, there's so many online businesses out there that have started up over the last, you know, particularly probably over the last 5 years. It's been booming in terms of online businesses because you can pretty much sell anything online. So that enables people to start their business up. It's quite fairly easy to set up a website. It's fairly cheap to set up a website. So there's not a lot of financial backing that you need necessarily, depending on what kind of business you're setting up to get yourself up and running.
Okay. So then that's that transition for you. So you got made, unfortunately, regrettably, you got made redundant, and then for the second time you decide, well, you know what, this is it. I'm gonna jump in at the deep end now and do this thing properly. In that stage, in that initial stage, what were your main key challenges? And I know you talked about networking. So did you build up a network prior to getting into it? I know you're going to know a few people, but when I say build up a network, because it always seems like, for me personally, one of my biggest challenges when it comes to business is going to these networking meetings, you know, and I feel like regardless of what industry it's in, you know, I always feel as though, boy, I got to go shake hands with these people. I don't really particularly think I'm going to like them anyway, and it's probably the same thing from them to me. I know within my business area, like music and that, you are supposed to be the most outgoing person, but normally the person on stage isn't that outgoing, apart from when they're on stage particularly. So what are some of the tricks that you learned in developing your network and building your network of people and your circle of people, and what were some of the challenges that you faced?
I think initially, when I first started, I was focused on the financial services industry because that's what I'd known for the previous however many years. So I started off where I knew, and obviously knowing a lot of advisors from working with them, it was easier to kind of connect with them, and they knew me.
Okay.
They understood how I worked because they'd worked for me before, so they were a lot happier to kind of come and work with me. But as it kind of progressed, I started to get interest from other areas and just recommendations from other industries. So I ended up changing my direction. So I wasn't just focused on financial services. The biggest challenge for me, ironically, is that although I've got clients, being able to build your reputation and take on board people that can pay you more money is the bigger challenge for me. Because only because I like to help smaller businesses because they probably need it the most, I would say, because they have that lack of experience, they have that lack of resource available to them to allow them to do what they need to do to promote their business. So I'm quite happy working with those businesses. However, the challenge with that is that they have limited budgets.
Of course.
So when you look at time versus money, you're spending a lot of time working for a lot of clients for a small amount of money. So the challenge is to be able to put yourself out there to get those bigger clients where credibility plays a bigger role.
Yeah.
So that's the bigger challenge.
Bigger challenges.
Yeah.
So you created DPS Brand Consultancy.
Yes.
And you've been going for how many years now?
Nearly 4.
Nearly 4 years. What is it that you do with DPS Brand Consultancy?
What do I do?
Yeah. So, all right, let me rephrase that then. So you started out in marketing, we know that. You helped many companies become successful, I know that. You then branched out by yourself and you do consultancy, so and brand awareness, and you help with that type of thing. So rather than me tell the people exactly what you do with your company, it's probably best for you to explain to them.
Okay, so on a day-to-day basis, I've got clients that I work with who I help them with their social media, predominantly keeping their website up to date, writing content for them.
When you say, sorry to interrupt you, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
When you say writing content for them, what do you mean? Like
blogs.
Of things do you do? Okay, so you're helping.
It could be writing an ebook. It could be updating their website with content, putting content on their social media pages, doing a bit of research on their industry and posting stuff industry-wise, because it's not just about posting your own content, it's about looking at what else is out there and reposting that as well, just to vary it up a bit, if you like. So on a tactical side of things, that's how I work with my clients. I've also just recently launched, as you know, my online training platform. So that is more, again, for helping people understand what branding really is, because a lot of people will say, if I say to them, what does branding mean? So if I said to you, what is a brand?
I'd say
you might have a better answer.
Colgate,
actually.
McDonald's. You know what it is, in my opinion, branding, and you see, you put me on the spot now, Dionne, thank you, is when you look at maybe that logo or that name, you know exactly what it means. And, something like Coca-Cola, as an example, in my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, so please correct me, all over the world, I don't think there's any country you can go into and people don't know what Coca-Cola or McDonald's or something like that is. And that's because of strong branding. It looks the same, it feels the same. You go into a McDonald's branch. You know what it is? Maybe because we come from a certain company where we knew every single branch looked the same. It, from the outside to the inside, the whole setup was the same. It's like you just know that you're in that particular environment. Now, am I wrong or?
You're not wrong, but you don't have. That's not the whole picture.
Tell the people.
And that's a really great example that you've just given.
Wonderfully political answer.
That you that you have that consistency is what matters with when you look at a brand visibly. The consistency is absolutely correct. You don't want to go into McDonald's and get Burger King.
True.
It is what it is. They have their own ways of producing their products and delivering their service. But what makes a brand in order for them to get to that stage of where they are, it isn't just about the visibility. The aesthetics of it is probably the easiest part to do.
Okay.
The most difficult part to do is developing that consistency.
Right.
And that comes from the back end of your business. It doesn't come from the front end. It doesn't just come from the front end. It comes from the back end. Because all the people that you have working for you, the way you run your business, so the systems and controls and processes, right down to, you know, your finance team, your HR team. Everybody has to work together to build that perception of what the customer sees.
So we're saying the culture of the company as well as...
Culture.
Oh, okay.
So culture is part of your brand, your processes is part of your brand, your operations is part of your brand. Everything about your business is part of your brand. Because if you imagine that a really good example is Uber. Mm-hmm. Really good company in the sense of they come up with something that people think, yeah, it's easy to get on. You just get on your phone, call for a cab, it's there, it's paid for, done. Do you know what I mean? That philosophy that they've come up with is really great. However, where they've fallen down is in their culture. You know, right from their top management down to the people that actually drive the cars, their drivers. Do you know what I mean? That culture piece has broken down completely.
Okay.
You know, and that's affected the perception of their brand from a customer perspective.
Okay.
You know, so what I'm saying to you is that yes, the aesthetics of the brand is brilliant, and having that right is good, but if you don't build, it's like it's your foundation. So I always say, when I teach people, I say to them, your foundation is your mission, your vision, your values, because that's why you're there. If you don't have those things in place and you don't understand what they are, and the people that work for you don't understand what they are and how they fit into those pieces, you may as well be building your business on a sand dune that's going to sink. Okay. Do you know what I mean? It's just not gonna hold it up.
I hear you. That's a very, very important point, because I think that point there's missed a lot in business.
And I intend to address it. Don't worry.
No, that's such a great thing, because you know how many people that I know that are in business and they're the front, right? So they're running. They got in their mind, they know what they're doing, right? They're running, and they've got people in the team. They've got a team of people, and I probably would say at least, and maybe your stats are different to mine, between 80 and 90% of those people that run those businesses, from the back to the front, I bet most people wouldn't know what the mission is, or what not only the mission statement, but actually why they're doing what, you know. So an accountant knows, yeah, I'm doing the accounts for the company, but what's the company about, really? You know, so that's a real key point.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember when we was at Edward Jones, we had those little cards on the table. Do you remember that had the philosophy and everything on it? Yeah. And just that little reminder to know why you're there. I think, from my personal perspective, that they had a really good culture.
Yes.
And they understood what it meant to motivate people, because it's all well and good going to work and earning money, but that only goes so far. We all want to be appreciated for what we do. Nobody wants to go to work and go home and not that I'm saying you have to be thanked every day, but knowing that you're appreciated for what you do and your contribution, and knowing that your ideas and your whatever thoughts you have about making your job better is taken into account, matters to us.
Absolutely. 100%. I don't think since leaving that particular company that I worked in another company where the culture was so ingrained from, you know, no matter who you spoke to, in what country they were in, the culture was just the same. Everybody was, you know, they had that same approach. Now, how, as a business, do you go about doing that? I'm not saying that in 2017 people are going to put place cards down and say, you know, here's the culture of the company, but what would you do? How do you develop the right culture in a business?
Well, you start with your mission, your vision, your values. You start with your foundation, because that is your foundation, and you build it up from there. And every person within that company, like I said, if you work in sales, if you work in marketing, if you work in HR, finance, whatever, you need to understand how your role fits into that and how you deliver what you do, because that's what creates a consistency across the board. Because if you are in HR, for example, and you know what the mission is of the company, what they're trying to achieve, and how your role plays into that, and how you deliver that fits into the values, and then what you tend to do in the future and where you think you need to develop fits into the the vision, then you can do your job more effectively. If you don't know that, if everybody in the company didn't know that, you can imagine that people are going off on different tangents. We all have, you know, they have those personal development plans that they make you do every year, but I don't think there's enough substance around that to make people understand how to deliver that foundation piece properly.
That's important, man. I said that's important because it's just not something that you really think about. I mean, I myself, I'm guilty of that. I have conversations with everybody in my team, and inclusion is great. When I say inclusion, I mean everybody feels involved in the brand. But to have that conversation, I don't know, I have individual conversations with everybody, but to just say this overarching, what does he say? Mission, values. What did you say? Vision. Mission, vision, values. Yeah, it's just important. This is the vision, people. Bam. This is how we're gonna get there, or what I see that we need to do to get there, and here's where you fit into that puzzle. That's really a great.
And asking them as well, where do you think we need to go? What do you think can help us move forward? Because again, they have thoughts and ideas, and they see things that probably they might not even say to you. Yeah. But they could be more than relevant to your business and help you progress your business further. So ask them, get them to contribute, make them feel like, make them have an entrepreneurial mindset as well.
People get scared of that, I think. And I know from having worked in other companies as well, that the minute you start putting ideas forward, your senior, but then again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about being entrepreneurs, right? So regardless of whether you work in an environment where a senior manager or whatever may not appreciate you, maybe that's and for being creative or for being entrepreneurial within that role, then maybe that's your key to kind of set up for yourself. The conversation continues after these few tunes. This tune is Post Malone, I Fall Apart. And do remember, on the 26th of January, this coming Fridays, a night called Rum and Bass, featuring DJ Neptizzle, myself, DJ Fernie, Blase Vanguard. Nothing but beer party vibes at the Hoxton Bar and Grill.
She told me that I'm not enough, and she left me with a broken heart. She fooled me twice and it's all my fault. She cut too deep, now she left me scarred. Now there's so many thoughts going through my brain, and now I'm taking these shots like it's Novocaine. Yeah. Ooh, I fall apart, down to my core. Ooh, I fall apart, down to my core. Ooh, didn't know before. Surprised when you call me up, girl. Hardest damn jewelry I bought. You was my shorty I thought. Never caught a feeling this hard. Harder than the liquor I pour. Tell me you don't want me no more, but I can't let go. Everybody told me so. Feeling like I sold my soul. Devil in the form of a whore. Devil in the form of a whore. You said it. No, you said it. No, you said it. We'd be together. Ooh, I fall apart, down to my core. Ooh, I fall apart, down to my core. Ooh, didn't know before. Surprised when you call me up, girl. Hardest damn jewelry I bought. You was my shorty I thought. Ice keep pouring and the drink keep flowing. Try to brush it off, but it keep on going. Covered in scars and I can't help showing. Whipping in the foreign and the tears keep blowing. Ice keep dropping and the drink keep flowing. Try to brush it off, but it keep on going. All these scars can't help from showing. Whipping in the
Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. I hope on this Monday morning everybody's expressing their passion for what they're doing. I remember, if you're doing something you don't like, you can always stop it. It's Mek Money Monday, people. This is Rum and Bass Radio. I am Cersei. You can hit me up on the social. It's at SEROCEE. It's real simple. And remember, click the share button. Click the like button. Tell your friends. We are here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is Rum and Bass Radio.
Baby, don't worry if I come home late like 3 or 4. When that chick call, I gotta go. Baby, I'm sorry, that chicky keep calling. That chick call like that chick call. My phone boom like my phone doing numbers on like baby, I'm sorry, that chicky be calling.
I don't need no calculator, I'm too advanced. Somebody call a future, I need some Percocet. Today my 10-year anniversary, mine for 100 grand. Told my teacher in elementary I gon' be the man. Told my bitch that she can leave me if she don't understand. They say more money bring problems, you need a problem, yeah. If you hating cause you ain't eating, then I'm not a fan. If the dick bigger than 50,000, I'm all in. Eyes open like I just snorted an 8-ball. Chasing money like they just called for the last call. Don't say you rich, if you ballin', you don't stop. Don't say your husband be laid up in the money car.
Baby, don't worry if I come home late like 3 or 4. When that chick call, I gotta go. Baby, I'm sorry, that chicky keep calling. That chick call like that chick call. My phone boom like my phone doing numbers on like baby, I'm sorry, that chicky be calling. That chick call, I get up, gotta make it. 5 in the morning, I be chasing. When it come to money, I be racing, I'm impatient. Like, baby, it's a play, can't miss it, gotta take it. I be at it by the minute, it be coming by the daily. I ain't got it, I go crazy. I got habits and 3 babies. We got laying by the cases, they take care of the tribulations. Family problems, gotta face it, I go hard, can't let it break me. I won't let it break me. Living wild, I pay dues and they lamb on cruise. Hit the gas and it goes on. Play up on my cell every day, my phone boom. I ain't got no time for my girl, I make it up, I'm on the move. Baby, don't worry if I come home late like 3 or 4. When that chick call, I gotta go. Baby, I'm sorry, that chicky keep calling. That chick call like that chick call. My phone boom like my phone doing numbers on like baby, I'm sorry, that chicky be calling.
I'm all about the Benjamin like Cuban said. And I ain't arguing with you niggas, I'm putting it on your head. I'm on my phone crushing shit, I ain't never said. You keep the accolades and the fame, I just want the bread. On every day I wake up to feel like tax season. I ain't never been a flag, oh bitch, I'm really eating. I told my mom she straight forever, bitch, I swear to God. I'm 10 toes down and I ain't moving, been like rubber ball. And for the money, I swear to God, bitch, I'm a bloodhound. And if it's not them for to get it, bitch, I'ma run it down. I want $1 billion and some change, fuck 100 mil. And if that check go to calling, babe, I'm out of here.
Baby, don't worry.
Yo, I swear that sounds like one of them Erykah Badu songs with The Roots or something. Anyway, that tune was called Check Calling Plies featuring Young Boy.
Young Money. Ayo, Ferg.
Yeah. Ride with the mob, Hamdulillah. Check in with me and do your job. Ferg is the name, Ben Baller did the chain. Tono for the watch, Prezi plain Jane. Yamagini chain, rest in peace to my superior. Hermes Linka feed a village in Liberia. TMZ taking pictures causing my hysteria. Mama see me on BT and start tearing up. I'ma start killing niggas, how you get that tripe? I attended Harlem picnics where you risk your life. Uncle used to skim work, selling nicks at night. I was only 8 years old, watching Nick at night. Uncle Psycho was in that bathroom bucket. Knife to his gut, hope daddy don't cut him. Suicidal thoughts brought to for the watch, Prezi plain Jane. Suck a nigga dick or something. Suck a nigga dick or something. Suck a nigga dick or something.
Hey yo, I'ma explain why you probably never see me. I push a Lamborghini, choke your magic like Houdini. My body shaped like genie, booty dreamy, waist is teeny. Yes, I told him to get titles, so he stream me when he leave me. I go hard in the booth, Biggie vibes, give me the loot. I'm a classy millionaire, bitches ain't got the coof. C-O-U-T-H, cause you can't spell it either. If I call him, then he coming home, running Derek Jeter. Bitches must be eating ass because I swear that bottom feed us. Ho, you know that you my son, I should've scrapped you as a fetus. All these bitches rocking inches cause they following the leader. I should switch it up on hoes and rock an afro like Lupitas. I don't keep up with the Joneses, but I do know Catherine Zeta. I'm with Candace, Titi, Tembi, and Viola, mi amiga. Rap bitches, they gotta check in with the queen. I'm the alpha, the omega, everything in between. Oh, ride with Minaj, mashallah. Check in with me, then do your job. Queen is the name, Raffaello did the chain. This is Monse, Patty plain Jane. Ride with Minaj, mashallah. Check in with me, then do your job. Queen is the name, Raffaello did the chain. This is Monse, Patty plain Jane. Eat a Barbie ass or something. Eat a Barbie ass or something. Eat a Barbie ass or something. Eat a Barbie ass or something.
Easy on the beat. You know this here for the city, nigga. Gold chains, plain James, and all that good stuff, nigga.
Bitch, this ain't a boss, this a boss up. Bitch, this ain't for sure, this a toss up. Bitch, this ain't Toyota, this European. Bitch, she ain't a hoe, she my girlfriend. Bitch, this ain't no nap, this is how I sleep. Bitch, this ain't no hobby, this how I eat. Bitch, this ain't lust, so it's love. Bitch, this ain't the connect, this the plug. Bitch, this ain't beef, this is World War. Bitch, this ain't a show, this a world tour. Bitch, you don't know me, man, you know me. Bitch, this ain't the problem, this the solution. Feeling like my chakras align. From now on, call me Don. Rhyming for days I couldn't eat and it was not Ramadan. Niggas asking for a cut, they just way out of line. Dug
ho, this ain't no fault, this a Maserati. This not a movie, baby, this a real dead body. I'm on a one-way street, about to have a trolley. I fuck her one night, then I'ma duck about it. You do anything for this little bitch, you might be a Casper. Speaking of being a Casper, I spike my drink with Madly. You better not tell nobody, see bitches zips and naughty, y'all. He from the back, turn to a car word, I'm backing at it, y'all. Hit on with 10, fuck it, I'ma go back his body.
Hit him up like. Hit him up like. Yeah, hit him up. Bitch, this ain't a boss, this a boss up. Bitch, this ain't for sure, this a toss up. Oh, this ain't Toyota, this European. Bitch, she ain't no hoe, she my girlfriend. Bitch, this ain't time, this is our time. Bitch, this ain't the plug, this the power line. Bitch, this ain't diesel, this Gucci. Bitch, you don't know me, man, you know me. Bitch, this ain't Adidas, it's Puma. Bitch, that ain't the truth, this a rumor. Bitch, you ain't my friend, you a tumor. Bitch, that ain't the new one, this newer. Bitch, this ain't fourth quarter, it's crunch times. No foul lines, just front lines. Fuck taking shit, boy, I just take what's mine. And I'm still hungry like a nigga was unsigned. Don't nobody want this shit more than I want mine. Fuck a free meal, boy, I'd rather go hunt mine. When you get the bar, boy, you be fumbling. When you talk, that shit be mumbling. Man, I got my one shot. Fucked around it and wondered if the dogs ain't there, then they one call from it. Look, run you out your house and now your ass apartment. Hunting from that Michigan cold, and I'm colder than that. But don't fuck with my crazy ass, boy, your mama should've told you that. One way in and one way out, this life just like a cul-de-sac. The hood behind me like a cobra back. You quote the internet, I quote the facts. But snake niggas never tell the truth, you a lie. If you swear to God one more time on your life, you might die. Real ones, I know you feel me. Independent women know you feel me. If you self-made, then you feel me. Text from my girl, she say come fill me up. Real dogs, I know you feel me. My OGs know they feel me. Bad bitch, she wanna feel me. Text from my girl, she said, come fill me up.
So, you set your mission, your vision, your values. Right? Things like mission statement, day one of your business, is that important?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why you set it up in the first place.
Okay.
It's your why. Hopefully your why isn't because I want to become, well, isn't just because I want to become a millionaire. Hopefully there's a little bit more substance behind why you want to set up the business.
Nah, well, people, you know, when we talk about missions, yeah, I want to make money. But you know what? The Yanks say that all the time. Yeah, man, I did this, man, because I wanted to make money, man. I got to get the bag. So, well, you know, don't necessarily work all the time. It's when you start looking for those catchphrases, and I've been looking for one for Roman Bass for a long time. You know, like Gillette, the best a man can get, that kind of stuff, where that just sticks in your head. And you think, oh, I ain't got one of those, man. So
mine is from great business to great brand.
See, you got one.
But that's because I'm a creative. That's what I do.
We write songs around here. We write songs around here. We creative too. Yeah.
Then you should be able to come up with one, right?
Now we've been struggling with a few. We've got a few though. We've got a few.
But then again, that can come from your mission. What is it you're trying to achieve? What is it you want to get out there to people to understand about what it is you do?
Well, that's a great question. And we do know the answer. However, this is Mek Money Monday. It's not specifically about me and about the brand that is Roman Bass. It's about helping those people out there that we can with the decisions that they make and, you know, maybe ease it for them. So, in speaking about that, we kind of mentioned networks, and we mentioned missions, and we mentioned also asking people questions and asking them what can you do within those that are within your firm or whatever, asking them what they feel that they can do to add value maybe. Is this the same question that you would ask of your business networks? Like, would you not necessarily ask it so bluntly or crassly, but would you say, well, all right, then you go through your phone book or whatever, and you're at this networking meeting. Is it key to understand what they could do for you? I know that seems a bit harsh and maybe cold, but is that important? How they can help you and your business, or do you not bother with that?
How you can help each other.
Okay.
Because hopefully there's, you know, I've been to a lot of networking meetings where I've met different people, and sometimes it's more a case of them needing my support, which is fine, and then other times it's a case of, well, because of what they do. For example, I met somebody at a networking meeting where he does reputational, he kind of helps to build reputations and maintain your reputation through getting reviews on your business and making sure that you put out the best ones and blah, 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 blah. So in terms of what I do and branding, and reputation is a big part of that, me being able to connect with him and do some work with him and help bring what he does into my business is a connection that's good for me as well. So it's just about finding the people, looking at the areas of your business where you need support or where you need extra help, and seeing if there's anyone in that network that can help you, and vice versa. If you can go and meet somebody who needs to use a studio, for example, or, you know, wants to do a particular event that you could help them with, it's about collaboration more so than you just taking.
That's a great point as well. I knew you'd have fantastic points. I like what you said about collaboration, because, you know, in the few networking meetings that I go to, and in music's just, I'm not going to say it's the worst for that, but I have a publishing company as well, and music publishing, by the way, people. So if you need syncs and that kind of stuff, holla.
Not the ones you put in your bathroom or your kitchen.
You see, come on now. I know it's early in the morning, but people know what I'm talking about. No, sorry. So you go to these publishing meetings, right? Or gatherings. So a label may put on an event, you know, where they'll have a couple of artists that are performing, obviously the label's artists, and you have a bunch of publishers that are there. So it's their way of showcasing, right? And a conversation usually lasts initially between maybe a minute and 3 minutes. And it's usually, hello, how are you? Who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? And it's not said so bluntly, but essentially that's what it is. And for me, that's probably part of the reason why I don't really like networking meetings, because I'm always like, yo, these people are just trying to squeeze you for what you can do for them. Nobody's interested in maybe collaborating. And then it got me to thinking maybe that's the way that we need to be. But because all those years ago, my working life, I suppose, started in a company where it wasn't about that. And similar with you, it started in a company where it wasn't about that. It was about collaborating and how we can work together and how we can mutually, you know, our skills can mutually benefit each other for the greater good of the company. It just doesn't sit well with me being like that. So I think it's great you talking about collaboration, and certainly in the music industry, people need to learn how to collaborate more and share ideas more, because there's always that mentality of, nah, I'm not going to share this idea with that person because they might take it and run with it. And you know, when fundamentally we both could put two ideas together and make one greater idea. So when you're dealing with small businesses, and I know you spoke briefly about small businesses, training, and all of these things and all of these platforms, because I want you to go into more depth about them actually and talk some more, elaborate some more, because there's no trade secrets here. When you're dealing with these small businesses, what are the key do's and don'ts when you're a small business and what are the key do's and don'ts for a person leaving work for whatever reason, leaving the safety of a 9 to 5 with a boss breathing down your neck and telling you what you should do or you shouldn't do, and branching out by themselves? What are some of your key do's and don'ts that you've seen, experienced, or even, you know, helped people with?
Good question.
Give me the Tim Curley answer. That's a great question.
That's a great question.
I'm glad you asked that question, Dionne.
Now, what's the answer? I'm going to give you two answers to that. The first answer is you don't have to leave straight away.
Okay.
If you don't feel comfortable leaving your security net, if you like, straight away until you've got something up and running, like I said, it's fairly easy nowadays to set up a business, and depending on what it is you want to do, you can do it fairly quickly. You can get your website done. You can, you know, get products and sell them through your website or whatever, and you can do that all online. So you don't have to physically leave your job if you don't really want to straight away, or you can go part-time and do that part-time. So that would be the first thing. In terms of do's and don'ts, what I would say is that really understand the market that you're going into. Don't just open up and then just not, and think that your idea is so brilliant and that it's going to work.
Let me interrupt you real quick. So remember where you were? In your whole time in marketing, how many completely brilliant, brand new, never thought of before ideas have you come across?
Not that many.
Yeah, that's the point I would make, because what we tend to do maybe is think, our idea's never been done before, maybe don't do any research. So that's good, and I hate interrupting you, but it's kind of good. You know, you don't do that much research, and then you get out in the field and you realize somebody down the road's been doing the same thing for a little while, and you're like, oh shucks, I've left work for this now. So yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so do your research, understand your market, what they're looking for, you know, what they want to get out of you. Having said that as well, I went through some training a few weeks ago, just before Christmas, and somebody said something that really resonated with me, in the sense of there's certain people that can only hear your voice. As much as there's loads of other people out there doing it, there's certain people that can only hear you and how you present it and how you do it. And in terms of competition as well, because we've been indoctrinated into thinking that, you know, you can't share things because somebody else might steal the idea, or, you know, we're so competitive. You have to be so competitive. But we're in a time now where there's so many different people out there doing the same or similar things. It is more about that relationship. It's more about how you put yourself across. It's more about, you know, what you say and what you do and where you go and blah blah blah, that people relate to. So, and there's like, how many billions of people are there in this world?
9 billion.
There's billions of people
across
the world. Do you know what I mean? That can get access to your business, your content, your whatever it is you're doing, and they will appreciate you. I'll give you another good example. Branding is about preference, and we all have our specific preferences. Adidas trainers, Nike trainers. Somebody that buys Adidas trainers is not necessarily not going to buy a pair of Nike trainers.
But they prefer Adidas.
But they might prefer Adidas.
I get that.
Yeah. I do my main shopping in Tesco every week.
You're posh.
But it doesn't mean that I won't go in Iceland or Lidl to buy the odd bits here and there, or Sainsbury's or whatever. But my main preference is Tesco. Don't be afraid of competition, because there's enough out there for everybody. When you think about the amount of people in this world, there is enough out there for everybody. So don't be afraid of competition.
That's a great point. And competition is healthy as well, and it kind of helps you, I suppose, be a little bit more creative. What you hit again, great points. What you hit again there is some people can only hear your voice, which is so great, because things like music and being an artist, and you know, that's why you get some of these top 5 conversations, and you'll say, I prefer this singer, or I know you like R&B, I prefer this singer over that particular singer, but technically the singer that you don't really prefer is probably a better technical singer than the person that you do prefer, but it's just the way they come across and how that relates to you, which is what I suppose you're saying in the whole broader spec of business. In a world of so many people, there's gonna be a few that listen to you.
Yeah.
As long as you get yourself out there, I suppose.
Yeah, and you just got to think about things in a logical way. We don't just. It's very rare that you just stick to one brand. You don't. We like variety. We like to have choice.
Isn't that just probably the last 10 or so years in England? Because I know that in America they switch brands. You know, loyalty isn't there, but things like your bank account. You know, when we're talking about loyalty, people used to have the first bank account that they ever had and just stay with that forever and ever. But now people are getting more accustomed to maybe switching around and getting what's best for them, maybe out there.
But I can guarantee you, those people will have multiple accounts. Absolutely. I've got accounts with Barclays and Santander.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think one is better than the other, but I do have accounts with both.
Nice.
That level of loyalty, I don't think is there anymore, because there's no such thing as a monopoly. As much as people may think there is in some certain places, there's no such thing as a monopoly. You know, so being able to have that choice is what we all look for. You don't just go to one brand for one thing. You might go to one brand in particular most of the time, but it doesn't mean you won't look elsewhere. Nice. And that's what you've got to keep your mind open to, is that the people that listen to you and buy your music and go to your events and whatnot, it doesn't mean they're not going to listen to someone else.
I openly, funnily enough, I openly encourage that. I openly encourage. There's a few brands now, and that we're doing it. Maybe we do our things slightly different, because we incorporate maybe a few different genres that most people wouldn't. But once upon a time, a rave would be dancehall, hip hop, R&B, garage, maybe something like that. You you wouldn't see soca, you wouldn't see zouk or merengue or anything like that. So we kind of bring in the other element. So the Spanish speakers, the Spanish Caribbean, we bring in the French Caribbean, Spanish Caribbean, normal Caribbean, English Caribbean, Dutch Caribbean, all of that we bring in when we're putting on our raves. Just because we represent, Caribbean and Caribbean influenced music, which has such an impact on the world's music as well. But having said that, there are a few people that were doing it, prior. And I'm always open, and I'm always saying, look, man, you know, when I get emails or whatever saying, when's your next one in such and such a place, I'll say, oh, yeah, we're not back for maybe 2-3 months or whatever, but such and such is happening, so maybe go check them out. Because I feel as though if you're in it for the culture, it doesn't matter what the name is, you know what I mean? But without naming any names or anything, you know, you realize there's people behind, and they're watching what you do, so whatever step you take or however you broaden your horizons, they start doing it and so on, because obviously you're gonna always notice the competition. And at first it was annoying me. I cannot lie. You know, it's almost like, okay, I've done that this week and now all of a sudden you're doing that, and it's irritating, and alright, cool. But then you get to that point where you're just like, well, alright then, cool.
Well,
you know,
say imitation is a form of flattery.
Yeah, but you know, you can't take flattery to the bank and it don't pay your bills, right? So
this is true.
No, here's my rent. Flattery. Also flattery for my rent. Nah, but you realize you can't get annoyed at that. You have to just keep on striving. You have to keep on trying to build your brand and working in collaboration with everybody else that actually has good intentions for the culture. That's what we're here for. We're for the culture. We're not really here to pillage off the culture. But yeah, moving on. So we're not necessarily scared or frightened of competition. We understand competition's gonna come and it's gonna happen naturally. We do want to be the competition, but we want to do so in a friendly way, and we want to really do that by being the best that we can, and knowing that the people that resonates with the people that listen to our voice. That's such a great saying. I'm stealing quite a few things from you today, Dionne. For free.
That's all right.
So let's turn up the level, turn up the pace. Bungie Garland featuring Shensia. Sound of soca.
Take a trip, take a trip, take a trip, take a trip now.
Take a trip now, boy.
Shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, wow.
Take a trip, let loose and go down, y'all. Whether you're old and free or you're young, y'all. Turn up the phone, y'all. Talk off the tongue, y'all. Wine and go round, y'all. Tip on a man or a gal or the sound, y'all. International, are you local? Come party and strain your vocal. Keep on soca, son. Put on your clothes and no re and go.
Take a trip, take a trip, take a trip, take a trip now.
Take a trip.
Shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip now.
Shake it up, take it up.
Take a sip, take a sip, take a sip, take a sip now. Wine and go dip, and go dip, and go dip, and go dip now.
Look good, every man want wine up on me. Every day, waistline I sway.
And when the girl them tell and shadow dingole, I hear the soul crowd say, we are the sound of soca. Big bad soca. Big bad soca. Big bad soca. When we play, everyone start dancing in the middle of the road. Cause we don't need no permits to free these hearts and soul. Hey, Tuesday morning we trip with snake and a cricket and a toad. Cause everything is everything, and that time anything goes. Take a trip, take a trip, take a trip, take a trip now. On the left, on the left. Shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, wow. On the right, yo, on the right. Take a sip, take a sip, take a sip, take a sip now. All right, yeah. And go dip, and go dip, and go dip, and go dip now. Hey, I tell them we on the sound, them select us play. Yeah, yeah. Every day, making you sway. And when the girl them tell and shadow dingole, I hear this one crowd say, this is the sound of soca. Big bad soca. Big bad soca. Big bad soca.
Long time me want to go the land of soca. Carnival and ting. Dance with me liquor till body turn over. Earthquake keep me shaking. Can't drive go back, I had me need a shocker. Party that me drinking. Me intoxicated system make bumper and me go when me whining no.
Take a trip, take a trip, take a trip, take a trip now. Hey, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip, shake it, hip now. Hey, take a sip, take a sip, take a sip, take a sip now. Wine and go dip, and go dip, and go dip, and go dip now. Hey,
look good, every man want wine up on me. Every day, waistline I sway.
And when the
Sing. Hey, 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 hey. Yo, this tune was so big at Trinidad Carnival last year. And my brothers, I'm so proud. Well, all of them is my brothers. Just now, big up yourself, Keisha. Big up yourself, Sam. Big up yourself, Bungie Garland. Such a big tune. And then to do the remix with Shensia. Hey. Love it when Jamaica and Trinidad come together and combine. So we're gonna stay in a little bit on the soca flavor because we're going back to the carnival again this year. I'm a week away from carnival. On the 7th of February, we're gonna put on a party in Trinidad again. Rum and bass meets just now, we're gonna call it Just Bass.
Pretty girl, when I get behind you, all my friends will want to know where I find you. Where I find you, my mother she'll go sign you. Cause the body divine, I want to hide you from the one I just want to keep it safe. Cause when you chop it low and you wind up that sexy bumper, I just take up my phone, I really want to ask you for your number. Girl, you put tag me on Instagram and Facebook cause I know really care. Girl, let me make it clear, I just wanna get your name. I promise this is not a game. I simply want a wine, you have to give me all your time. Feel like you changed my life with a waist, girl. Chop it up in place, girl. Chop it up. Chop that bum bum. Girl, chop it up. Chop that bum bum. Chop it up. Chop that bum bum. Girl, I go put it all on you. Chop it up. Chop that bum bum. Yeah, chop it up. Chop that bum bum. Chop it up. Chop that bum bum. Girl, I hear you from around here. The way you wind in your waistline is a problem. Trouble is a problem. So when you wear the crop, yeah. Sweet like the melody from the favorite song, yeah. Oh, yeah. When you chop it low and you wind up that sexy bumper, I just take up my phone, I really want to ask you for your number. Girl, you put tag me on Instagram and Facebook cause I know really care. Girl, let me make it clear, I just wanna get your name. I promise this is not a game. I simply want a wine, you have to give me all your time. Feel like you changed my life with a waist, girl. See they tell them now we say, jump it up, girl, jump it up. Chop it up, girl, I go put it all on you. Chop it up, chop that bum, yeah, chop it up, chop that bum, chop it up, chop that bum, go boom. I just wanna get your name. It's your life. I promise this is not a game. I simply want a wine, you want to give me all your time. Feel like you changed my life and I wait, girl. Chop it down in place, girl. Boom, chop it up, chop that bum, yeah, chop it up, chop that bum. Chop it up, chop that bum bum. Girl, I go put it on you. Chop it up, chop that bum bum. Yeah, chop it up, chop that bum bum. Chop it up, chop that bum bum. Girl, I go put it all on you. Wait, man. Deeper than soca. Breathe. It quattro. We are the island boys.
That was Pretty and Sadal tune called Drop That. Miguel. Yo, carnival outfits are gonna be mad. I wanna see the lighters raise, you know.
From the time we step in the party, plenty woman around. Whoa, me no want nothing else beside me. Apart from a big bumper and me rum. Whoa, when we come out to play, we play. Whether in the blessings under the rain, everybody jumping up the same way. Oh yeah, me no got no time for no shopping. This just rhythm and girl and everything blessed. Alright, that's how we get on. Oh yeah, everybody just raise your hands them high, just raise them to the sky. Raise.
That soca flavor, that soca vibe. It's gonna be so crazy, so mad. I cannot wait to be on the boat parties. Cannot wait to be on the beach. Sure. Maracas Beach. Doubles. Slight pepper. It's gonna be so mad in Trinidad. Then a little further, we're going back home to Jamaica. After that, to the Jamaica Carnival. But for now, let me tell you a little bit more about the Trinidad one. On the 7th of February, at the Black Box, Just Now meets Rum and Bass. You have a night called Just Bass. DJ Blase Vanguard from Trinidad. DJ Raka from out of Belgium. Myself, DJ D-Dots from in the UK. It's gonna be so crazy. And the gal am gonna do this. What am I gonna do? Vibes.
Jumping at the middle of the mass now. Jump up, girl, I walk it up and wind it fast now. Mine girl, Juve morning, we full of color. Had to go to work, but me never bother. Give me my mask and my flash now. Give me my band and my pass now. Pray for me when I reach the truck. Behavior dirty up. And it's waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Bumpers and tails, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Rum and mud, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Powder and oil, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Come jab jab, come Juve. Y'all and them go walk it up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. All of you go dirty up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. Y'all and them go dirty up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. Jab jab, Juve. Get it? Mama don't want me in the Juve now. Papa say they walking with you go now. But them things never bother me. Job blessings and pain don't cover me. Plus all my weight up, but that's when I ready. Johnny Walker done in my brain already. Pray for me when I reach the truck. Behavior dirty up. And this waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Bumpers and plates, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Rum and mud, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Powder and oil, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Come jab jab, come Juve. Y'all and them go walk it up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. All of we go dirty up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. Y'all and them go dirty up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. Jab jab, Juve. Jumping at the middle of the Juve. Coming at the middle of the mass. Dirty in the middle of the Juve. Jump up in the middle of the jab jab, Juve. Jab jab, Juve. Hey, hey, hey. Jumping at the middle of the mass now. Girl, I walk it up and wind it fast now. Juve morning, me full of color. Had to go to work, but me never bother. Give me my mask and my flash now. Give me my band and my pass now. Pray for me when I reach the truck. Behavior dirty up. And this waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Bumpers and plates, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Rum and mud, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Powder and oil, waist and bucket, waist and bucket, waist and bucket. Come jab jab, come Juve. Y'all and them go walk it up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. All of we go dirty up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. Y'all and them go dirty up the same way. Come jab jab, come Juve. Jab jab, Juve. VO1CE, one voice.
We spoke about the do's and the don'ts, and well, mainly when we spoke about one, really do, which was make sure you do your research. What's the don't?
And keep learning. Keep learning, because
do you think people stop learning?
Yeah,
really.
I think people can get complacent.
Okay.
Don't think you know everything, because especially in the marketing world, things change so quickly, and the way that you're. In the next 10 years, who knows how well we're going to be communicating with each other. Facebook, Instagram, they're all new platforms. They're all new platforms, and not saying that they're not going to be here in the next 10 years, but you don't know how we're going to be communicating with each other, and you have to keep learning that. And on top of that, they keep changing the way that you put your content out, or how you put your content out, and how you connect. So you have to keep up with that as well.
Let's talk about Facebook. DPS. let's talk about the platform that is Facebook. Once upon a time, I could post something, and everybody that follows me, all of my friends, quote unquote, would see. Nowadays, I can't do that unless I sponsor it. Mm-hmm. And if I do sponsor it, I don't know. I think there's a friend of mine, and I'm sure he won't mind me mentioning his name, Shepdog, Nice Up Records, big up yourself. He put on a rave and did a sponsored thing, and it just wasn't connecting. So he hollered at Facebook and said, "Yo, I spent money here. Like, it's supposed to have a reach up, blah blah blah. You know, when you put it in." Mm-hmm. And they said to him, "Well, all you can really do is put more money in." So when it comes to marketing, Dionne, are we saying, especially because I know we're gonna talk about the separate platforms, right, and the differences and what we should do. Is that right for a Facebook to? I mean, excuse me, that could be their business model, but how does that work for me as a business? Just plowing money into this Facebook vault and receiving little or no return. So as a person that deals with brand awareness, do these things work? Does the Facebook promoted things work?
I think it can, but it just depends on your content, and it depends on what you put out there and how you put it out there, because it's about making that connection with people, and it's all well and good to kind of say we're doing this event, it's on at this time, and blah 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 blah, and these people are going to be doing it. But we're so much more focused on, well, you know, what's in it for me, or how is this going to help me, or how is it going to, you know, what am I going to get out of it? If you don't have that kind of angle in there, sometimes it can hit and miss. I got you. You know, and Facebook have this thing called a pixel. Have you heard of Facebook pixel? Okay, so some of you might have heard about this Facebook pixel. If you go into Facebook and go into their business section, you can search for it, and it's basically a code. Okay. So you take this code and you put it into your other online platforms. So you can put it into your website, for example. What? So what happens then is that Facebook tracks that pixel wherever you put it online, and whoever goes, it can see, because Facebook's such a massive platform and pretty much, quote unquote, everyone is on it, or a lot of people are on it. What they will do with that pixel is that they will track the sorts of people that are going to your website or going to your online content, and they will match it. So when you do an advert or boost a post, I wouldn't say boost, do a proper advert. If you're going to do an advert, do a proper advert, because then you can pick who it is it goes to. Yeah. And that pixel will then work more effectively with your ads as well, because it will actually match people who have gone to your website. So people who are actually interested in in the content that you're putting out, they will match it. So they will send it to the people that have already gone, that are on Facebook, plus any similar matches. So if I don't do the pixel thing, but I go to, you know, choose your audience, and I say 18 to 24 or 18 to 64, because we don't discriminate. People that listen to these different genres of music, and you know, you get quite specific with the targeted audience, right? You're saying that the pixel as well helps the target, even drills it down even further. And again, even if you don't use the pixel, it's free, so you might as well use it. Might as well, yeah. Even if you didn't use the pixel, when you're doing that when you're targeting your audience, target people similar to you. So like, there's other artists out there doing what you're doing. Target them too. Put them into it. People who like whoever. Such and such, yeah. And especially if they've got quite a strong following. Oh yeah. I mean, we does that, man. Even, you know, people that like flipping Pink and stuff like that as an artist. We put that Justin Bieber the works, man. Yeah. Nah, but that's great. So, and I mean, Facebook and Instagram are Facebook own Instagram anyway, so it's pretty much the same thing. I do
think about those two because obviously, you know, when you're putting together your Facebook ad, you can just click and say do it with Instagram as well. And I wonder how effective it is because you can. I always find, not always, but the Instagram adverts when I'm scrolling, and you see an Insta ad come up, and it's something like a calendar that you can fold away. I'm a gadgets person, right? So I always wonder to myself, does Facebook know that I like gadgets? Where have I said to Facebook that? Because it's always the gadgets ones that come up. But I'm always clicking on it and trying to find out how I can buy that. And then I think to myself, oh,
yeah, well, that's what they do.
Yeah,
it's called retargeting. So what they do is when you retarget an advert, when you click on something, it follows you. And it's not just Facebook that does that; it's Google does it as well. So
I know Google's all up in your business.
Yeah, so is Facebook. So they will just push content to you that follows what you're interested in, even if you just clicked on it once, even if you clicked on it by accident.
Wow!
And remember that Facebook also owns WhatsApp.
So anything that you're talking to, you send to, even though they say they're not tracking it, they are, basically.
Potentially, yeah.
Okay. But we're not here to talk about all those brands. We're here to talk about your brand and how you help. So we spoke about the small business and also looking for that larger business. So we've gotten to a point where we're a small business, we're bubbling over. Okay, we're going to our network meetings. We're enjoying collaborative projects, and we're building out from there. As you say now, is that challenge of working with larger, I suppose, networks or working with larger companies. If that is it, if you're a musician, that would mean, in musician terms, maybe collaborating with bigger artists or getting yourself visible to a greater platform of people that are gonna either purchase your music, which nowadays when you got Spotify and you've got Tidal and you got Deezer and you got all of these other things, people ain't really purchasing music. So you have to do more interesting stuff, which is get them to come to your show or get them to buy your merchandise. Now, how do you engage? So we spoke briefly about it earlier, and we dabbled here as well. Engaging the audience. What do we, first of all, how do we ascertain, how do we find who our target audience is? So me as a musician, right, I go onto Insta, Facebook, and even YouTube, and it'll tell me your main audience are this type of demographic, right? I don't necessarily want to just aim at them all the time, but I know that those are the people that listen to my music, really. So once you found that demographic, does that have to be your target audience because those are the people that like it, or is that advisable because those are the people that check for you? Does that make sense, that question?
Yeah, I think people buy into things for different reasons at different stages throughout their lives. So if you're looking, or depending on where they live, or whatever, but you don't have to necessarily narrow yourself to one specific audience. But if you are going to target a different audience, understand what they want.
What makes them tick?
Yeah, because if you want them to connect with you, if you want them to follow you, buy from you, whatever, you need to serve what their needs are. So you need to understand what it is that makes them tick in order to get them, in terms of what you do, in order to get them to connect with you. So
basically, once again, it's research. And regardless of what arena that you're in, it could be music, it could be your YouTube blogger, it could be your reviewer, you could be a scientist, you could be a, whatever the case is. It's research. Find out about your target audience, or if you're targeting another, and I know I'm repeating what you just said, if you're targeting another audience, find out what makes them tick so that you can offer those services. And if you can't offer those services, then allow it. It's not really maybe what you should be doing.
I mean, try it. I mean, marketing is about testing a lot of the time, because not everything's going to work, and just because something works for somebody else, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you.
And vice versa.
Yeah. So it's kind of, you just need to test. Sometimes you just need to do something. If it ain't working,
well, at what point do you decide? At what point do you think, boy, this ain't really working? Is it when you run out of money? Is it, when do you decide that it's not working?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, if you're not getting the engagement that you expect from that audience, or you're not. It's not growing the way that you expect it to. You have to set yourself
targets.
Yeah, measurements in order for you to say, right, we want this amount of people, ideally by this amount of time, coming to our events, and if they're not, then they're not. You kind of have to set those benchmarks in place in order for you to see whether or not it's working. If you don't do that, you could be you're just throwing mud at a wall, and hoping that it will stick.
And that isn't just events. I think, like for me with business, what business has meant to me over the years is I have to do several things. You know, there isn't one specific business model that I have. This is me as a personal, rather that's away from drum and bass. So what I do is not just drum and bass. You know, we've got record labels, we've got publishing, we deal with syncs, put things in adverts, we do the works. As far as that side is concerned, the record label obviously does what a record label does. You know, so we've got, I think, or what has worked for me is having various income streams.
Yes.
And not just being solely reliant on one thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Having different income streams, diversifying your business interests.
Tim Kelly.
We love that word. Diversification. Diversify your business interests. Find a way of doing what you can do in another way, or tying in something that is that complements your main business. Into what you do, so you've got an additional income stream. Like me with the online training, I'm just doing what I'm doing through another medium. You know, I'm going to start doing more speaking and face-to-face training this year, so that's another income stream for me on top of my client income stream. So it definitely is about diversification, and especially nowadays when people consume information in so many different ways.
Absolutely.
It's easier.
And you at the moment, you've got your... And we've been here a little while and we haven't even mentioned your social media platforms. So if you want to tell people your URLs and stuff now.
So my Twitter is @DPS Brand. My Facebook is DPS Brand Consultancy. My LinkedIn is me, so that's Dionne Smith. I do have a business page as well, which is DPS Brand Consultancy. Instagram is DPS Brand as well. I think that's all the platforms I'm on.
Tumblr and
I don't.
All these things.
I do this for a living and I don't have time
for all of them.
For all of these platforms.
Man, it gets to me sometimes, and we were speaking about this a little bit earlier. All of that you need to do. What I normally use is Hootsuite or however Hootsuite, whatever. And then I can just do one post. I can also schedule it. And it puts out everything. The only thing that irritates me is that it doesn't do Instagram.
Yeah.
So if it did, maybe the guys at Hootsuite can take this as a, you know, I don't know, some friendly recommendations. If you can do Instagram, that'd be great. But yeah, I schedule them. And they come up whenever they come up. I schedule them to come up, and then we're kind of good to go.
Make your body, make your body, make your body, make your body, make your body do it for me. It's true. Naya, bend your back and cock up when you creep on the spot. Make me feel like you're ready to touch. You bring down the body, the waistline, and tell me I'm lifting it up. Show me all, put your hand on it. Turn around, start to rub on it. Cause in this position, there's no intermission. And she ball out. Ooh, I can't get a body language like ooh, all night long. Say ooh, baby, I can't fight this feeling much longer. It's getting stronger. I love it when your body talk. Love it when your body just talk to me. Freak when you ride on the beat, it's so sweet when you're back in it up. And I look on your face when I between our space makes me know I rip it up. Show me all, put your hand on it. I hope you go manage it. Cause in this position there's no intermission. And she ball out. Ooh, I can't hear that body language like ooh, all night long.
Language by Ricardo Drew.
Watch you know.
You know, sometimes some people don't like it, they don't know why. You know, it could just be because they're jealous of your success.
Oh, it's so easy, man.
Well, go and blind them with it.
But every man has...
Go and deaf them with it.
See me say road.
Progression.
Calm down. Dog, who them a play with? Ah, boy. You know, see we lifestyle elevated. You know, see that? At 22 carats, straight from the farm, you think I gold plated? Okay. Watch when them gals see we. Look how them a go on X-rated. If me not have even 200 pocket on my clothes, more while me feel naked. How we not see no man, but every man that see we like them not say oh man. Never see when we are hustle for so long. Them hunger see the red interior in a me van. We are make moves and execute big plans. Them a sing about man life in a them songs and a highlight everything with the wrong. We don't know what's next. But make I tell you why them vex. I show gal a run with down breathless. While them a run around headless. We are free money in a excess. To be young, take six. Me say, gal a run with down breathless. Some man a run around headless. No time for hole and stress. Man a young, she call me the CEO, oh my God. She say, baby, what make you so damn bad? She rate me more than her man. Uncle man, she no rate me more than the most I got. Him buy the love, but a uncle for your time. When she cross my mind, I take off the panty time. All when them see me and you in the same design. For some reason the girl them still just prefer mine. So don't pray garbage and garbage and garbage. Injecting at them girl system like cartridge. Might not buy the property, them cash, but everything a mortgage and mortgage and mortgage. Make moves and execute big plans. Them a sing about my life in a them songs and a talk about everything we do wrong. We don't know what's next. But make I tell you why them vex. I show gal a run with down breathless. While them a run around headless. Man a pray money in a excess. To be young, take six. Me say, gal a run with down breathless. Some of them a run around headless. No time for hole and stress. Yeah, young from what Pagan want see we get overthrow. But I'm on the highway with a big spliff up and the breeze a blow. Doing it my way, laughing in them face. Ha 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 ha. Who no like man ways? Oh, it's so easy man, yeah. And we no see no man, but every man that see we like them no see woman. You no see girl. Never see when we are work for so long. Them hunger see the houses and the cars, them and the vans. We are live life and execute big plans. Them a talk about man life in a them songs and a highlight everything we do wrong. We no know what's next. When make I tell you why them vex. Two gal a run with down breathless. While them a run around headless. Man a pray money in a excess. Yeah. To be young, take six. Me say, y'all a run with down breathless. Some man a run around headless. We got no time for hole and stress. We are young, take six.
There, you go, you sit with businesses, and they'll tell you, this is what we're trying to do. It's either A, working, we found that this is working a little bit, we need it to work a little bit more, or it's just not working at all. Dionne, please, DIY SOS, help us out. And that's what you do, right?
That's what I do. I do. So I will help people understand from a strategic standpoint what they need to do in order to make their brand more consistent, because I've worked with a lot of businesses who don't understand about consistency. So it's like you're talking about McDonald's and different brands that you recognise them because they are consistent in what they do. And I've worked with brands who this is that colour and that is that colour, and it's like, well, who are you supposed to be? Who are you? So from the brand perspective, it's kind of helping them be consistent and get that message out in the right way. But then on a tactical side of things, for me, it's more about just helping increase visibility. So that, again, it's kind of like, well, put out YouTube videos, put out content on your social media platforms, write a blog, show your experience and show your knowledge and build your influence that way. So I help them do that. What the results of that are what they are, because I can't affect the sales process.
No.
I can encourage it, but I can't necessarily directly affect it. Although, and I build websites for people as well, and I can put all the SEO, search engine optimization into that to make sure that they're visible as much as possible on Google and other search platforms. But you know, when it comes to doing advertising and stuff, I don't directly do that. I work with people that do. So if that's something that people want to do, then yes, I can offer that. But I don't directly do it myself. So what I do is more based around strategy and content development, and just advising people on how they can do things.
So, from your perspective, as far as businesses are concerned, obviously we said this, and we said that the platforms are growing all the time. People are doing a lot as far as their businesses are concerned on these platforms all the time. And the growth is there to be made if you essentially do what you're good at and find different ways of doing what you're good at and offering your services, and find different ways of approaching different services. So how do you, aside from network meetings, how else do people attract attraction? How else do you attract Joe blogs that may not necessarily know about you? How do you kind of... Alright, then let me just rephrase that. One of my main challenges as a business is getting that interest from Facebook and Insta and Twitter, and getting them onto the website. Okay, because once you're in the realms of the website, you can look around, you can go to the shop, you can see what you like, you can listen to the radio as people are doing now. You can do all of these things. But the vast majority of people, and I do it myself, we don't necessarily click through those links to go to the website. So, and I'm sure other people have those kind of challenges. So how do you get that from an interest and convert that to a solid, I've looked around, and then you can use the pixel and kind of work it from there? What advice would you have?
Why should they click?
Because they're interested.
Yeah, but why are they interested?
So you need to give them so not just a call to action, you need to give them
tell them what the benefits are. How are you helping them? What challenge are you overcoming for them? What is their interest in what you do or your area of expertise? What is it?
That's a good point.
You kind of almost have to. It's very much got to be benefits driven.
Yeah, rather than the other way around. Rather than come and see me.
Yeah, because I'm the best thing since sliced bread. No, how are you helping them?
Yeah.
We as consumers know that we have a lot of power.
But once upon a time, that wasn't the case, right? Or has it always been the case? Because sometimes you feel... Sorry, I know I'm not interrupting here as well. No. But it's a conversation, right? It's not just an interview. I almost feel as though... Once upon a time, we didn't realise that we had the power to change things as consumers. We just thought, okay, we get what we're given, and that's what we got to roll with. I think now more than ever, we realise that we can vote with our money, with our feet, by not coming to your store or not. I mean, look at what happened to even H&M the other day.
Yeah.
They did what they did, and I think South African stores had to close down. And there's been a few things when people say, look,
vandalised, yeah.
Well, okay, it was okay. I mean, admittedly, it was vandalised. But there's a point where. Before that even, they were apologising and they were saying, look, we're sorry, we messed up or whatever. Regardless of your feelings around how that managed to slip through the marketing net and the vetting net, I think when people just, and it's happened on more than one occasion with more than one, I suppose, brand, when people start saying, no, we're not happy with this, we're almost flexing that muscle of being the consumer. I don't, or maybe it's the platform, or maybe I'm answering my own question here. Maybe it's the fact that there's so many platforms now. People are just one tweet away. Because if I'm not happy, if I go on a flight or something and I'm not happy, the first thing I do, I don't even phone them no more. I just tweet. Like the other day I was on the Virgin train and it gave me a window seat, right? And the window seat was at the back of the train. So there was a window thing for the window, but no actual window, right? So I'm looking at wall. So I took a picture and I tweeted. I was like, yo, Virgin, what I want for this? And there was a bit of interaction and we had a little bit of banter and whatever. Ultimately, I needed to get from A to B. You know, and the train was around. I wasn't going to go nowhere else. But knowing that I can just do that and get a response, and maybe if I wanted to pursue it a little bit further, I could have changed the outcome. It's way more than... Because back in the day, it's like, I'm going to sit online on hold forever and ever, amen, and I'm not going to... It's long. So, yeah, I think overall now we have got a lot of power as consumers. We're recognizing. So as the other side of that, as a business, as you've said, we have to give people a reason and probably more than 10% off whatever purchase you make. Maybe there's... Or is that sufficient? It may not be 10%, maybe whatever money off, whatever.
It depends what it is. It depends on, like I said, it depends on that value that they're going to get from it.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you just spoke about that Virgin Trains example, and it's easy for you nowadays to kind of say, do you know what, fix up, or else the whole world is going to know.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it.
That's your reputation. Reputation is easy to damage now.
And you can't.
So much quicker to damage. Yeah. So you have to manage that really well. We all make mistakes. We're human beings. It happens. Do you know what I mean? But it's how you deal with it when you deal with that customer. It's kind of like, apologise, say I'm sorry, it shouldn't have happened, blah blah blah, get on the front of it. Don't wait for it to fester and fester and fester and not do something about it. We have a big issue with service in this country, and I'm going to give you an example now of
Please do.
In terms of branding and reputation and how it can affect, and this goes back to culture as well, and how it can affect how you're seen as a business. When was it? My son is now 7. So when about 8 years ago, I had the opportunity, this is just before we finished at Edward Jones, I had the opportunity to go and buy my first brand new car. And I always wanted the Mercedes C-Class compressor. And so I went to the garage in Beckenham, I might add.
Oh wow, we're calling names. And
we're calling names now. I went to the garage in Beckenham.
Disclaimer, the view of Dionne does not have anything to do with my personal opinions.
And saw the car on the forecourt, was really excited. It's my first car I'm going to buy, first brand new car. Went into the showroom, and believe I've told this story to so many people, and I use it a lot as a case study. So I went into the showroom, and I said to the guy came up to me and said to me, well, can I help you? So I told him which car I was interested in. He's like, come and sit down. I go and sit down with him. Then he starts talking to me about how much the car costs.
Okay.
And, you know, this is how much it costs, this is how much it's going to be monthly, this is how much deposit you're going to put down. And it was at that time when they'd done the first scrappage scheme where you could scrap whatever car it was, you could scrap it for $2,000 or get $2,000 off a car, and then blah, blah, blah. So it was around that time. And he was just so standoffish with me. His demeanour, everything was just kind of like, he did not want to have a conversation with me.
Okay.
He had to, and this is a Mercedes garage. This is like a prestige brand to a certain extent, and that's not what I expected. Didn't expect that at all, you know. And I left there and I felt really quite upset because I was so excited about going to get this car, and I felt really dejected when I came out of there. I thought, I'm not going back in there again.
Fair enough.
As much as he told me how much it was, and I also said to him, well, I can't really afford that. And being a sales company, you would think that he would negotiate with me a little bit because he wants me to buy the car. At the end of the day, he's getting commission out of it regardless. No, none of that. So I was quite upset. A few days later, I thought, okay, I quite like the 1 Series, so let me go to BMW. So I went to BMW in Blackheath, which is no longer there, I might add, and had a completely different experience. So he brought me in, sat me down, spoke to me about how I could literally took me through customising the car. He told me what the price was, but he said it really depends on what you have on it. So it took me through the whole customisation experience. Choose your wheels, choose the colour, what interior trim do you want? Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want the other? So I literally built the car according to how I wanted it. And that whole experience, as much as the price still came out higher than I wanted it to be, guess what?
Still went for it.
I bought the car.
Of course.
Now, that's what I'm saying to you. It's about that experience that you give to them. It's about, you know, what is it that's going to make them buy from you?
Add value.
Add value. Give them an experience. Why should they come to you over and above going to Joe Bloggs down the road? It's about that experience.
So, I like that. And last week we spoke to Shadow, who is, I was telling you earlier, he's an artist out there that started selling CDs out of his car, bag, whatever, and has built up to being close to, if not the #1 independent artist merch. He has stores up and down the country, pop-up stores and so on and so forth. And one of the things that he talked about was customer experience and adding value. You know, not just come, and he sells, you know, bug standard. They're not bug standard, but literally t-shirts, hoodies, caps, that kind of thing as merchandise. But there's a reason why people buy from him rather than the other artists. And it's that customer experience, it's that value that he adds. He speaks to them, he communicates with them, they feel comfortable with him. He takes them through the whole, you know, when they stop by his shop, he takes them on tour of the shop. You know, he says, I've got these, you can buy a wristband, USB wristbands, you can do this, you can do that, You don't have to spend your money. But if you spend £5, I fully appreciate it. And that's one of the things that he even said last week was, you know, however much, £3, £5, whatever you buy from the store, I fully appreciate it, you know. And I appreciate that as much as I appreciate somebody coming in and spending £200 on my headphones. You know, it's that value, and the customers feel appreciated, because whenever you go through his YouTube, you can see that the customers are saying, I saw your shop here and we spoke and I bought this, you know, and they really support him. And that almost translates, it does also translate into, even though his music's available on Spotify and these other streaming services, people still go to his website and buy his music. So it's that value.
It is that value, and it's, like I said, it's that appreciation. There isn't one person out there that doesn't want to be appreciated for what they do, or you know, how they feel. Not one person. And I don't believe there is one person. So you talked about appreciation, but then in the same sense with him, he's very, which is another thing that I also do, is about personal branding. You know, it's about, personal branding is so much more of a bigger thing nowadays than it used to be. And you
what do you mean by personal branding?
So you.
Elaborate.
So you. Your personal brand, who you are. People buy from people. People buy into people.
I agree, because Big Nasty, yeah.
He was on Good Morning Britain this morning.
He was on Good Morning Britain this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. This morning's actually, it's now Monday, 6 o'clock in the morning. He was on Good Morning Britain a few mornings ago. That's a pre-record still. Big Nasty is a perfect example of people buying into him. He's a grime artist. Really, he's a great guy, he's a great human being, but he's funny as fuck, right? And I can swear, it's my podcast. And it's taken him years of doing, you know, he's doing grime, and that was great, and I'm sure he was selling loads, and he was still doing his, you know, doing his shows and doing his clubs and arenas and whatever. I think when people actually, via Grime Report, etc., saw how entertaining he was as an individual, just as a regular dude, his stuff's just grown, right? And to the point of Good Morning Britain, that's massive. I didn't know about Good Morning Britain, by the way, but I know he was on some other show the other day. To the point of Good Morning Britain, it's taken him, it's a lot of hard work, but now he's out there just on the strength of just being himself, and people will buy from him.
Yeah.
You know, now I think that's really a great point. So speaking of adding value, Miss DPS, tell us, what value do you add to these companies out there? What can you do for the people? If they want to get in contact with you, you've told them where they can get in contact with you, but we're going to go through that again so that we make sure that we plug them and make sure that they know. But what value do you add to people out there that think that they may need the assistance of a branding consultant?
So my goal is to help businesses and individuals bring out the best in themselves. You know, so that's how I add value. I want to help you be the best that you can possibly be, which is why I have that tagline, great business to great brands. because it's not about me, it's about you, and it's about how can I help you do what you do even better, and be, you know, find that thing that's kind of stopping you from going from A to Z, and help you develop that and improve it and get better and put yourself out there more, so that people buy into you. I just want my businesses to be the best they can possibly be.
Fantastic.
And I work with them to see what their skills are, what their experience is, and help them develop that, so that they can do that. They can get themselves out there, and they can build that authority and that influence, and that's what I do.
And that's what. Well, no. Let me ask a different question. So when it comes to business, when it comes to branding, etc., what keeps you awake at night?
What keeps me awake? What keeps me awake? Okay, so doing my training, having to sit there and record my training. You know, making sure that, again, I do things. And I'm quite fussy and quite particular about how I do things. And I see a lot of other people doing things who are making a lot of money, and I look at it and I think to myself, well, that's not as good as it could be. You know, and you know, people might look at my stuff and think the same thing, but you have to be comfortable with what you're putting out, because you're putting your name to it. So what keeps me awake is feeling comfortable about what I'm doing, and knowing that I can feel proud of it, and that I'm putting it out there, and that I'm helping somebody. You know, not just that I'm just doing something because I want to make some money. Yes, I do want to make money, but
as we all do, this is Mek Money Monday, by the way.
I want to make it in a way that is authentic, and that really helps, that it adds value. It's because you can do something shoddy quite easily. I could have put out my training ages ago. I've been working on this for almost a year. I could have put it out ages ago, but I want it to be useful. I want people to get something out of it. I don't want you to have to pay for something and then you turn around and say, do you know what, that was a load of crap, or I didn't get anything out of that at all.
And with that, when you say put out your training, are you talking YouTube, or are we talking the training modules for businesses, or what?
Yeah, the training modules for not just business, for individuals as well.
Okay.
So I'm using an actual training platform to put my training onto, called Teachable. There's different ones out there that you can use, but this one you can brand it to your own business.
And which we know is important. All right, so it's DPS Consulting.
It's DPS Brand Consultancy.
Yes.
www.dpsbrandconsultancy.co.uk, or DPS Brand on Twitter and Instagram, and DPS Brand Consultancy on Facebook.
And if we want to email you, or email DPS Brand Consultancy,
you can email me directly to Dionne@dpsbrandconsultancy.co.uk or info@dpsbrandconsultancy.co.uk.
Before you go, I normally ask this question. I need 2 recommendations from you of books.
Of books, okay.
We're not talking fiction books here.
Okay.
We're not talking Pirates of the Caribbean, but we're talking about books that you would recommend somebody read that's in a position similar to what we're talking about here, and what we have been talking about: small business that's growing, business that wants to get bigger, bigger business that wants to get bigger business, or whatever, develop. What would you recommend? 2 books.
So I Think and Grow Rich by Robert Kiyosaki.
That's a good book.
And the other one by Napoleon Hill, which has gone out of my head now.
Which one?
No, Think and Grow Rich is Napoleon Hill.
It might be.
It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
That's yeah,
Robert
so let's
Kiyosaki.
start. Yeah, no wonder.
So I kind of got them both in there, one way or another.
So, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
And Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much,
You're
Miss
welcome.
DPS Brand Consultancy. This has been Mek Money Monday. People, I hope that the tips that we've given you here and the conversation that we've had here has added value to your business today. Until next time, you know the thing. Same place, same time. Mek Money Monday, Dionne. We need to say Mek Money Monday.
Make Money Monday.
See, that's what
make money every day, but Make Money Monday is special.
See, that's what you get when you work with English people. They can't even say Mek.
Mek.
I hope you feel energized. I hope you feel ready to take on the week, take on the day. Hey, hey, make money, make money, make money, make money. You're gonna see me again and hear me again next week, same time, same place. 6 a.m. Monday morning. Yeah. And also don't forget to click on the share button. Click on the like button. Click on the follow button. Make sure your friends know about us. Download the show. But we're gonna ride out with this one, yeah? Everybody keep on doing this one, hear it.
I know we're doing everything that we want to. Meanwhile, are we losing? 'Cause we won't let go. And yeah, let's start thinking what we're doing. Don't let nothing change your mind. Let's start heading homeward bound. Get off the ground, stop losing, yeah, losing. Keep rising to the top. Give it all you got. You gotta wake up your body, wake up your body, wake up your body and move it around. Wake up your body, wake up your body, wake up your body and move it around. Keep on believing all the dreams inside of you, and don't stop achieving, yeah. Let some love shine on through, and don't fight the feeling, just keep on dealing. Everybody keep on moving, 'cause I know we can get it over, so baby, give it all you got. Let's keep rising to the top. Give it all you got. And we won't let nobody stop us. Give it all you got. We'll just keep trying, yeah. Give it all you got. Oh, baby. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. Give it all you got. You gotta wake up your body, wake up your body, wake up your body and move it around. Wake up your body, wake up your body, wake up your body and move it around. Bedtime illusions create a lot of confusion, but the time has sufficed.